This is Don Durrett. I'm at the Metals Investors Forum. It's February 28th, and I'm talking at Toronto. I'm talking to Kimberly, the CEO of Lahontan Gold. I found this. I've followed this stock for a long time, but I never. I'm very picky on gold. I'm fine with small gold projects. I mean silver projects, but I don't like small gold projects. And you were a little over 1 million ounces, but I wanted, I like 2, 3. So I passed. I just passed. I'm not interested. And then Victoria Gold had a big position in your company, and Victoria Gold went bankrupt, and it put pressure on your stock. And and just what did your market cap get down to? 10 million?
No,
Less?
I think less than that.
Less.
Yeah, like 6 or 7. It was
Okay.
painful.
Yeah, 6 or 7. So I think I bought it at the very bottom. I bought it at 2 cents.
Congratulations,
Today
Don.
it's when I looked at it, like, this is ridiculously cheap. Today it's at 125 million US. So it went from 6 to 125, which is pretty good return. I think I have like 15 bagger on it.
So far.
Yeah, so far, absolutely. It's got legs to run. But the thing is that I didn't realize that it was actually bigger. So then I talked to you on the phone. Kimberly called me and I talked to her. It turns out it's bigger than 1.5 million. It was like almost 2 million ounces growing. And now you're looking at, you've had some really good drill holes. And once you get to 2 million ounces in Nevada, you're a pretty darn good play. 2 million ounces allows you to produce 70 to 100,000 ounces a year. That's a ton of free cash flow. At 100,000 ounces at $2,500 margin, you're looking at $250 million in free cash flow. So you're talking a serious company. I mean, your company has the potential now to grow into something significant. A company that was valued at $6 million not very long ago has the potential to grow into something, very, very significant.
That was like the permanent hangover for a year.
Yeah, and
yeah.
One thing I want to say is that I talked to a lot of CEOs. When I talked to Kimberly on the phone, after 5 minutes, I was like, I like this girl.
She's crazy.
No, it's you're unusual in that you're an entrepreneur. You're in kind of mining, but you're stubborn as heck. You're like, when you want to do something, you do it. I mean, I'm impressed with your kind of your approach in life itself.
Thank you.
You kind of like, okay, I have 2 strong sisters, very strong.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yes. My older sister was a vice president at 31 years old. My older sister, both of them powerful women like you. That's why I kind of know it. My older sister was a CFO at 34. So young, very achieving women, very powerful, potent women. I mean, I feel sorry for men in their life. Good luck. I'm Pisces. I'm more mellow. They're like, and so I saw that.
I married a Libra, and he's much mellower than me. You can't marry the same.
So for my sisters, I like this girl, and because I know you just kind of stay out of the way.
And so do what we do.
Yes, and sure, you're building this company, and you're doing a great job, and that's the reason why it's up to 125. And Kimberly's going to be successful. She's been successful her whole life. Everything she does, she's success at. And now you're like, now you're a successful CEO. I'm not surprised. So tell me the steps getting this project into production.
Wow. I mean, this year is so exciting. Really, we're just still laying out the breadcrumbs, checking every component of the boxes to get to the finish line. Our permitting, of course, we got the plan of operations approved last December, which allows us to draw out the whole project from exploration side of things, but also it sterilizes the land package for the mine. And so now it's really exciting. We meet, I think, next Tuesday with the state level to show them our application and say, okay, what are we missing right now? And we're way ahead of the game because it's only March. So timing's going well with that because of the gold, gold and silver prices right now. It's becoming the giggle factor in our minds of, wow, okay, we need to start rethinking everything on our land package. For example, we will have 3 rigs at our property starting in a week, one of them being a sonic rig, because when we go back through the production history, we look at those heap leach pads sitting there, the cutoff grade is 0.56. Well, that is really high grade in Nevada. So we're really excited to drill those drill out those pads with the sonic rig to see what we really have there, because at the end of the day, when we place our new heap leach pads, it's going to be right next to them. So those are the cheapest ounces you can get. And the BLM and the state level will love us for that because we're just cleaning up, right? So, yeah, we have 2 million ounces that we talk about in the public domain that is on record. But that was done in 1950 gold, 1950 pit shells. And even when you just start dragging down the shells and capturing more because of the economics of it, you capture a lot of ounces. But we've taken it a next level and dragging it down. We're identifying areas that we need more drilling because we're dragging them down so much deeper than we thought. Right now, we're drilling to try to find the water table. And it's a very expensive program with a core rig because we have 2,500 holes on this property and only 3 of them have hit water of all those holes. But they want us to try to find it on a new, 2025 level or 2026. So we're doing that. We're still not hitting the water table after 8 holes, which is a Hollywood problem, actually. And all of our mining is already going to be well above the water table. So that's a huge expensive box for checking off because core drilling is not cheap when you're thinking about this process. So from now to the end of the year, it's really following every step of the way on the permitting. The West Santa Fe asset is getting so exciting for us. We finally got to poke some holes over there. I looked at this project as if we find a couple 100,000 ounces there, it's a home run because it's 13 kilometers away. We can trek it over, we can heap leach it, load the carbon, drive it over. The timeline for a permit is very short when you're thinking of that. So, and they're bolt-on ounces of oxide that we got the property for quite cheap. And the drilling we've done just a few months back were only 7 holes. We got snowed out, but at Christmas time. But they were hitting higher grades than all the historic data. Yes, they were twin holes, but we had to because the data was old. We didn't have the core in hand. And so I immediately have already told the team, get out there and start doing the baseline studies because we know we need 2 years of raptor studies. We know, for all these different states, how long they take. So the idea with West Santa Fe is once we have Santa Fe coming online, it will come online a year later, which is just adding 50,000 ounces a year on top of what we're accomplishing now. We're putting out a new MRE next 3 or 4 weeks, which will show an updated number. Of course, we're drilling at the same time, so it's always, it's kind of a catch-22. You're like, okay, when do you just stop and add all the ounces up and release the report? Well, you have to do that, but, you're always waiting for drill results. So the anticipation is to keep drilling with the RC rig the whole balance of this year. I already told Bort Drilling, Bort Longyear, that you don't get your rig back for a long time because now that we have our plan of operations, we can now really start exploration on Santa Fe as we're building this mine. So at the end of the year, I'm looking at raising the money to build it. What I really like about this project is the CapEx is so reasonable coming from working on the debt side of things. When you look at a project that's a brownfield project, past producer, with 18-month payback, that's ridiculous. Anybody will write a check for that because what's the worst case that can happen? That we don't do our job and they get our perfect asset. So I'm already in talks with different groups that want to work with us. And what I like about that payback, we don't have to do a complicated deal where we have an NSR and it doesn't have to be complicated. We can take mostly in debts. We're not adding more dilution to the company. So that makes me really happy as a large shareholder myself. And I always put money back into our company with private placements. But I'm very sensitive to all of our shareholders from that standpoint. So it's a busy year. We'll put out a PEA around September. No, we're not doing a PFS or a bankable study. It's not necessary. I don't like wasting money. In order to do a PFS, we'd be drilling, holes just for spacing to call it a PFS. Our PEAs are different than like others. It's massively engineered back, and because we actually have to tell the state how much dirt we're moving. Every debt group I've spoken to has said, well, coming from that side, we're going to run our own models anyway. So do what you think's best, and we'll sign off already. So I'm so excited for this year and the liquidity in our stock right now. I'm so proud of that because, yes, we've had a hard road the past 2 years. Now we're really starting to see people figure out what we have. And when we put out a new resource report with much higher numbers, I think people are even going to be more excited. So there's massive catalysts throughout the end of this year. And then going into the next year, between building it, West Santa Fe, lots of news flow, and our third asset we don't even talk about, which is a high-grade gold and silver vein underground project. So we're not a one project wonder. We have 3 mind-blowing assets. So with this bull market, we're going to actually be able to explore all of them. So I'm excited.
So the only red flag with your company was your market cap when you were like 30, 35 million, which wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
And we were Beaver Creek.
Blank.
We were Beaver Creek in September, and you're like 30, 35. At that point, the red flag was how do you finance this capex? Your market cap isn't big enough, but that's gone.
That's gone.
we're past that. So, but financing is good. So, my last question, we're kind of out of time here, is the length of the build. We think you're going to get into construction in early 27.
Yeah.
How long is the build?
Well, we're doing contract mining. I've talked to 4 different contractors groups that they say 4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months?
It's very short. Yeah, because it's a heap leach operation. It's brownfield.
European production, Q3.
We anticipate pouring gold in 2027.
Q3 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I want to hold that button. You're going to come hold that button.
That is a beautiful story.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You have to be excited. It's like, you're going to be generating a lot of free cash flow in Nevada.
Our cash cost only $1,200
with a property that's going to be growing ounces.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's a great story. I would say you make your money on your second mine, and so you have that other high grade project you're going to drill, but I know you're a very aggressive lady. It's like, okay, we're going to go buy another one. Right?
I'm looking. I'm always looking.
Yes, I don't think Kimberly's done, people. I don't. But thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Great.